Record.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year to each and everyone who have joined us this evening. This is our first Navigating Life series for 2022. I just wanted to say a happy, wonderful New Year, and I wish that, it would be a wonderful and great experience for us this New Year. We look forward to this evening's topic as we look at goal setting, setting smart purpose, goals, and fulfillment. Before we start, let us go into have a word of prayer. Almighty, wonderful and everlasting Father, we thank you, Lord, for sparing our lives. We thank you, Lord, for this opportunity that we have, that we can have this session. We just pray that all will go well. Pray for the presenters, that the preparation that was put into it, that there will be clarity, that we will definitely benefit from the session, and the things that are shared, we will continue to utilize these things in our personal development as we go through our lives. We continue to give you thanks. These things we ask through Christ's name we pray. Amen. So once again, we thank you for the time that you've taken to be with us this evening for our Navigating Life series. This session is brought to you by the St. Andrew Church of Christ. As we begin, just wanted to remind each other of some housekeeping rules. Kindly keep your mics muted throughout the presentation. If you wish to ask any questions, you can raise your hand and the presenter will acknowledge you, at which point in time you can unmute your microphone. You can utilize the chat room feature. So from the chat room features, you can post questions and comments there for our facilitators to respond to. So this evening we have Mr. Trevor Smith, who will be our lead presenter for this evening's session. He's a member of the St. Andrew Church of Christ. He has been, he's also a behavioral modification coach. He's a CEO of the Successful People Academy, and he is an author and contributor to our, some leading newspaper media center. So we truly are appreciative for the fact that we have an individual who's qualified to present this evening. Along with Mr. Smith, we also have our usual guest presenter, Mr. Andre Allen Casey, counseling psychologist. For over 8 years, he has been experiencing counseling. He is a member as well of the St. Andrew Church of Christ, and we are happy to have both experienced individuals to be part of this evening session. And so at this time, I kindly ask that you give our undivided attention to our presenters as we hand over our session to Mr. Smith.
Good evening. All right. Hi. Good evening and welcome one and all. All the best for 2022 and beyond. Why stop at 2022? So, all right. So I know that others are coming, but they're going to miss the little story that I want to tell you in the meantime. So this is a sort of cheat session, this little quick story that I will tell you, will give you an insight into all that have been prepared to be said today. So listen to the little story, and let's go forward. So it's about John. So John, average young man, doing relatively well. He has a job such that he could, leave the nest. So he's out. He has a little apartment, has a little jalopy, a car, and he's doing fairly well in his job. But every now and then he runs short. Funds kind of run short, and he goes and taps into mom. And last time he came, mom says, something, we need to have one of those conversations about life. And so nervously John sits and mom speaks to him about his finances and the need to have targets and plans in place. And said, so she works out with him what he's earning, etc. And she says, something, you should be able to save instead of coming to me every now and then. You should be able to save at least $100,000 each year. And so I want you to agree that that's what you're going to do. And tell you what, I'm going to put an incentive around it. If on the 31st of December, your bank balance is $100,000, I will match it. I'm not going to match it for less, but if it's $100,000, I will match whatever you have. Boom, John goes and he does some of the things. He starts out by looking at the movie going, he goes like twice a week. And of course, when he goes, you have to buy the popcorn, all of that, pays for, whoever it is, this guest that he's taking with him. So he decides that, okay, fine, he's going to cut that down a little bit. And so works wonderful, target in mind, goal in mind, great. So he's doing well. As he's going along, he's noticing though that he's not tapping into mom as much as before, but the bank account is just not going up at a pace that by the end of the year is going to be 100,000. So he starts to scratch his head. And then the next thing he says, something, that gym, because, the gym renewal fee, membership fee came around at the same time with the insurance for the car. Said, boy, when I think about that gym fee, it's really a lot. And it's not only that, but when I go, I buy the head shake, and I think I can just run around my house. I know I've had a problem in the past exercising by myself, but boy, I'm not going to make the 100,000 if I don't. So cut the gym and stop by the shake. Still, things not looking so right. So maybe I can cut down, I see other people eat regular stuff. My parents never eat, buying a whole pack of kale and all of those kind of things. So maybe, and all of this supplement. I'm not an Olympian, but why am I buying all of these supplements and all that? So he cut back again and things look a little bit better. And the story goes on. So looking a little bit better. Somewhere around late October, friend hits a pothole and a little noise in the front end, but can't really pay it any mind right now. And anyway, boy, to go to a mechanic now, that will just clean out what I have. No, I just go and take my time and see what happens. Now it's get a little louder, but pay it no mind, etc. So the story goes on. Then his female friend who, is getting like upset with him now. This is a possibility. Says to him, something, you don't see how you're getting miserable. Her name is Sapphira, by the way. So you're getting like a miserable friend. putting on weight. You're working on for this 100,000. Why you don't just wait till around late December and just go to one of these fast loan places, borrow whatever the short, put it in the account, show your mother the balance, and we just go forward. You just go and live your life, etc. And then when you get the 100,000, you pay it back. I mean, all of this suffering, what's the point? Okay, Safran, cool down. Easy, Safi. Easy. All right. So, all right. So that's a story about John and his challenge. So when you consider it, this is the ideal, this is the perfect smart goal setting. Specific target. You need to have 100. Measurable. Yes, we can check your bank account. We know. Achievable. Yeah, we don't work the maths, and we say, yeah, realistic, of course. And the time is there. We're going to match it 31st of December. But let us look at some of the challenges that might happen. So anyway, somehow or another, by cutting back things and doing whatever it is, John actually ended up with the money in his account. Never take on Safi, never take on Sapphira's suggestion, but genuinely. So he gets the 100,000 in January. And man, John lets loose, because what we didn't say is that before John started to go to the gym and buy the kale and eat the thing, was that he was actually a slob. He would just eat anything, junk food, etc. Doctor tell him, listen to me, boss man, unless you take your life into control, you can start to go to Madden's or whoever it is and pay down. And so he went to this thing. But no, because he wants to meet this goal and do all of these things to get the $100,000, what he has done is that he has opened up back some of those neural pathways that had gone to sleep, and some of the bad habits come back. Exercise, what that name, and so smart goal setting, yes, but where is John at the end of the process? That, my friends, is a story of our life and the lives of many of us. And one of the challenges I would talk about is the attainment problem. Why is it that success can be such a problem? Let's talk about that. All right. Before we go much deeper though, I've just thrown out some craziness here. Anybody wants to share quickly before we actually dig in? Brother Andre?
No, because I'm eager to hear how it's going to be unfolded.
All right. Any John or James in the audience? Don't be bashful, you can come forward. Open your mic, talk up. All right, let's move forward then. We haven't warmed up yet. So, anybody who basically do any sort of professional development training, whether you're, wherever it is, you're going to get these smart goals. That's what you need to do. You need, smart. Smart is all over in terms of how you set goals, etc. So, it needs to be specific, it needs to be measurable, it needs to be achievable, it needs to be realistic, and it needs to be timed. So there must be some time. And this basically what John's mother did, set it up. Let us look at a specific 100,000. We can measure, yes, we have to have a look at your bank account. Achievable, of course, we know work out the maths. Realistic, yes, all you have to do is cut back a little here and there, and we know the time. Boom, perfect. perfect. As a matter of fact, his mother went one step further and to incentivize. That's what it is now. You know, when you set the SMART goal and you put in some additional incentive, that's the fire. Just selling into the thing, and it, you know, should carry you there. And it works. People in truth and in fact get to their goals. There's a downside. There's a downside, which is what I want to share. And a lot of us get caught up with the John scenario, where in truth and in fact, in the longer term, we err because we're so focused on hitting this target. There are a number of things that happen, right? So let's examine that. So this SMART framework, as we're saying here, speaks about specificity. And that's one of the things that they teach you, that don't bother with the wide goals, narrow it down, you know. So John's mother is not saying to him, John, you know, you should save some money, and saving is a good thing. And so, no, specific, 100 in the bank on the 31st. Very, very specific. That's one of the things that the coaches will tell you. Be specific in your goals. So specificity is there, and the time is critical, because planning without a time frame is just really just idle talk. Once you start to put schedules in, that's when it becomes a plan. And so that's one of the things that we are taught. Come and show our nose. All right. So basically then, idea is you need to have a destination in mind, and that destination needs to be hit at a particular point in time. That's it. Amen. Wonderful solution, wonderful framework. But let's take another look. So let's just take a neuroscience approach, what the science is saying, and how that might help us. All right. So basically, the concept that neuroscience is suggesting to us is that we should pay attention, we should focus on transition and transformation instead of destination. So let me get ahead of myself a little bit. What mom should teach John is how to save, build wealth on an ongoing basis in a healthy way, right? With a healthy lifestyle, as against a destination of having $100,000 in a bank account. That's the fundamental difference. So transitions are periods and events of change and movement. So it's the journey, the process. Transformation is processes that cause or force a person to experience a thorough, dramatic, or radical change. That's what the mother was trying to say. Instead of taking money and waste it and whatever it is, develop a practice, a habit that's going to put you in a position where you are significantly different. You don't have to come to me for funds. As a matter of fact, I need to come to you because of how you have been able to manage your finances. That's the transformation that we want with you, John, a transformation of how you manage life, navigate through life. So the neuroscience proposes them. Wrong word. Okay, it actually proposes, right? It is more useful to view the goal setting and planning process in terms of a transition, i.e. a journey, a process, as against a destination, a specific outcome, or a specific endpoint. And I want to talk about the endpoint as well, that a lot of the challenges that we have, especially when we come to our resolutions and so on, is that they are too short-term in view. Expand the horizon, because we're not living for a year, hopefully. All right. So let us look at a case similar to what John would have experienced in January and February, when the 100,000 is used to buy more junk food. Okay. So this is Carolyn online. She writes, I am stuck and lack focus. I don't know what to do now that I have achieved my goal. In fact, I'm finding myself wasting time and sliding into activities that will mess up my business if I continue like this. I had achieved my goal so effortlessly that it felt as if there was nothing else to do. And that's one of the problems. You go on Google, check it or whatever it is, look at goal attainment and the negative side of that. Many persons get to that stage where they get a high and they fall off. In music, we talk about the one-hit wonder, you know, get a massive hit and blown out of the water. And just nothing happens after that because it's just a die. And there's a huge neuroscience thing about it, is that, I get myself again, is that when you're striving, there is this, the dopamine, which is the feel-good hormone, flows because that's part of it. Yeah, we are excited by the idea of working towards something. So that's it. So that's the feel-good. That's the motivation we get when we are striving. Having striven and having got where we want to go, the dopamine taps off. We start to feel bad about ourselves, etc. And that's where we have a problem. And so one of the things that we want to talk about in the T of the timely of smart is that maybe we need to have some more continuity. Maybe we need to have some longer focus instead of these goals, specific time we got there. What happens then? All right. So it's an interactive session here, so you can actually come. Let me give you another downside of the smart framework, and I'm not knocking it. It's very useful. It helps a lot of people to achieve what it is that they want to do. But tunnel vision, that's another thing. So that's what was happening to John. John was so focused on the 100,000 and making, getting his mother's 100,000 that he started to move away things. The car, we can't go mechanic. And then what will happen now is that the whole front end mash up now. 200,000 is just the parts bill, let alone. So that's part of the problem that we have. And of course the weight, the health. So he has now gone back where he has to really now go back and retrain the whole mind to get back into the discipline that was so hard to achieve. That's part of the tunnel vision that we have. That because of the the laser focus and the specific task that the smart people tell you that you must have, you tend to be blinkered, lock out other things. You see the Coke can there. Coke saw Pepsi coming up. And Coke says Pepsi's growth in market share is a reflection of the taste. Pepsi have a sweeter taste. We're going to cut them off at the pass. We are going to change our taste, make it sweeter. And that's the new Coke. And that is one of the world's greatest product failures of all time. Coke actually got blinkered. We're going to make our things sweeter so that we can beat Pepsi. Forget the consumer. Never ever consult with the consumer in any real way as to what is it that you really want from your cola. That's part of the problem. And we see it. We have many instances of that kind of blinkered thing where we're focusing on one thing and a lot of other things fall apart because the goal is imperative. The goal is so much, so important that you actually forget that there are other factors to deal with. So that's a danger that we have. That unifocus is not good. That tunnel vision is not good. So while we must have targets and while we must move towards them, we need to define those targets differently. Those goals need to be redefined. And that's what I want to share with you. We'll get there in a minute, all right? So that's one of the other issues that we have. Disillusionment is another thing. That's another big risk. So they tell people building on this on the smart framework, and they're saying one of the other things that we need to do is not the S of, it's specific, but we need to stretch it, because when you give people stretch goals, you can achieve more. If you aim for the sky, well, at least you will get a little higher than you would normally. And so people put stretch targets there. Key though is that the Financial Post says that about 10% of stretch goals are actually ever met. Yeah, and so the possibility is that come July and especially with Sapphira in his ears, John might say, you know, some, Mom, you better keep the 100,000 because it's not making no sense. We can't do it. So maybe start go back at the movie and enjoy. At least let me enjoy myself. Trust me, because there's no way I'll end up with this. That's part of the problem that we have. Is that you get so frustrated by the thought of, you know, not even getting close, that you just shut down, and actually it might be a demotivator, because what is this? It's not possible. All right. Laying the foundation quickly, you know, because by the way, there's a test at the end, right? We have to apply the principles that I will share. So pay attention. If you have note taking, take the notes, because there will be a major test. Nobody leaves the session without passing the test. All right. Ethics. That's the other problem. Remember Sapphira with John? Why you not just borrow the money, put it in the account, and pay back? What's the problem? Well, you kill yourself and I go through all of this problem for. Right? No, man. Just borrow the money. And friends, a lot of this takes place. A classic case, Wells Fargo. There's a big fraud. Cost the company how much, plus the reputation. By the way, I don't know if you understand what is happening in this picture. See this man? This man doing a little exam. You see the smartphone underneath his folder? Okay. Would you call that cheating? When you get his degree, you should just email it to Google. Right, so when smart goals are incentivized and the reward system, your career development, everything is wrapped up in that, you might really end up with some negative consequences. And that's what's happened with Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo wanted to cross-selling. And so you had people that after a while couldn't meet the targets, and pushing from the top, they start to actually create accounts with people's name that have, you know, people have no idea who they were. You know, this was happening. And so those are some of the things that happen. Some of it is cost cutting in order to achieve certain net profits. The people might start to actually produce lower quality products. Those are some of the things that happen when we have this goal that must be met, this target that is critical and it impacts your earning, your career advancement, etc. There is an incentive, an invitation to do some juggling. So those are some of the challenges that we have when we look at the SMART framework straight up. All right. Any questions so far? Comments? We're not pause here so that I know that we are all on the same page, or that we are not on the same page, and I need to go back. So I'm going to actually literally pause a little minutes and just see any questions, comments. Anybody can identify with or see the risks that I'm talking about in terms of the way that we have traditionally been asked to set goals and to pursue targets. Lip sealed, see that? Lip sealed. Not as soon? All right. Right.
Yeah, Trevor, Trudan here. Good night, everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been processing what you've been saying, and I agree in the main. I'm actually wondering if part of the challenge is that the goal itself wasn't set properly, or the target itself wasn't set properly, or we didn't look at things that needed to be also, all targets that also needed to be put in balance. So if we use John as an example, you know, it's not just about that one thing that we focus on to the exclusion of everything else, which I think is also what I hear coming out. But looking at other things that are important, and making sure we don't neglect those for, you know, that one target doesn't cannibalize everything else. So that's what comes to mind. But I'm also of the view, as you have said, that when we, you know, if we focus only on the destination, then we sort of have like, it's sort of anticlimactic. You get there and then what happens after that? So I do appreciate that view as well. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thanks, Julian. And that's the point, really, is that should be, and I'm sure that, you know, when the concept, the framework was being created, there was an expectation that one would look at the targets, the goals, in a sort of wholesome way. But as usual, when you put things out, sometimes you have a good tool, but it's misused. So people start to look at the specific, and then they push more, and the more specific we get is the more we are required, you know, to pull it aside and to make it stand out. And so the other issues that we should be paying attention to might come across as distractions. Yes. So the other thing, again, if you use again the example of John and John's mother, whatever it is that you assume, you know, how could I believe that my sensible son could, you know, start to eat junk food just to make the target? That is assumed as an assumption that you would make. And so that's part of the problem that we have. But what is often misunderstood is that desire for success, that desire to achieve goals, and the incentive can in fact put on blinkers on us. And we actually then get so committed to that we actually just don't see some of the other stuff. But let us look at what it is. So I'm not saying smart goal setting is not useful, it's not helpful, but I suspect that there is an addition that I think would make a difference. And I'm just saying, I don't know, it hit me, just add 2 letters. 2 letters, so we're looking at smarter goal setting, and the 2 things, the E would be experiential. We talk about that, but focus on the experiences, which essentially is the journey, and recurring, which is the continuity, the sustainability of the action. So, John, we're not asking you to just get something by December 31st. We're asking you to develop a process, a lifestyle, a way of being that is helpful. Yes? And by focusing on the experiences, the behaviors that feed into the experience, you will actually find that that's possible. So you will still do all of these smart things, but it's a different approach to the target setting, the goal setting. So let's go a little bit further before you get your exam. All right. So pay attention now, please. All right. So the smarter thing focuses on looking at experiential factors that are aligned to your values. This is where Trudy mentioned now that there are some other things now that you have to take into consideration. It's not just the 100,000, John. It is about your health. It's about your wealth building. It's about your entertainment, your life. So those are some of the things that we look at. So you want to align it to your values, your vision, your dreams, and your aspirations. That should embrace it, right? Okay, so let me see something in the chat here. John needed a few skills to approach his goal. He needed one-on-one money management. Well, that's part of it. And he was managing the money right now. Well, okay. So dreams, aspirations, visions should be a key factor in determining what is it that you're tracking, what is it that you are is going to inform your goals. All right. So, for example, with the Pepsi situation and Coke, instead of single-mindedly matching the taste profile What if Coke had taken their whole values, their vision, what it is that we are, who are we as Coca-Cola? First of all, they would say, but wait, we are the market leaders. Why am I trying to copy the underdog? Why? Why? Just ask yourself the question. What is it that, why more people are buying our things now than theirs? Let's ask yourself a question. And so why not investigate those things that have kept us ahead and double down on them? Why not? Why assume that it's just a taste? And what if they communicated more with their stakeholders? That should have been part of their vision, their values. This is part of what the company should be looking at. So maybe they could have spent more time in focus groups, put some of the money that they spent in developing the new Coke, in communicating, in trying to find out what is it that people want from Coca-Cola. That's part of what we're talking about in terms of the experience. But let us go deeper, because I want you to be able to put this into practice before you leave this evening, tonight. So how does it fit into goal setting? So experiential. Let us look at what the dictionary says. Involving or based on experience and observation. So experience and observation. By the way, the observation ties into the measurable, right? So our behavior produces experiences. Those experiences are either taking us toward or away from our purpose, our goals, and fulfillment. That's it. Has nothing to do actually with timelines. That's whether it is short term or long term. We're either moving towards what it is that we would want, or it is moving us away. So certain actions are congruent with goal attainment. Certain actions are not congruent with fulfillment and goal attainment. That's it. So we just have to look at the behaviors and to see what behaviors, if we want to achieve certain things, what behaviors do we need in order to achieve that, to get that, to have that experience. So we should take a laser focused view to identify the positive experiences and the behaviors that produce those experiences. And that is the key to sustainable fulfillment. So if, as somebody mentioned here, sorry, I didn't remember the name quickly, that money management. Yes, one of the things that would have helped John is that if he better understood how to manage money. Money management 101, which would have actually also included how he lives, the lifestyle, all of those things. So there's no fixed destination or static target, because this is a moving, this is an ongoing experience that you want to have for the rest of your life, basically. So we're not looking at December 31st that you have 100,000. What we're looking at is that at December 31st, at May 14th, at November 26th, you are in fact displaying behaviors. You are in fact going through experiences that are building wealth, that are using money wisely. That's the essence. That's the key that I'm seeing here, is that focus on what experiences are desirable and how do I keep them flowing on an ongoing basis. So the desired experiences are fluid, highly responsive. So if situation change, John gets another job, he loses his job, something about what he's doing continues and is flexible. So the experiences are always evolving with the situations. Make sense? Make sense? All right. Let me get to what it is, and then we spend all the time afterwards. If I'm just talking to myself afterwards, that's it. But here we go. Right. So practical. Try to be practical in these sessions all the time. That's one of the keys that we look at here. Let me try to see if I can get this thing out of the way. All right. Very practical. So Smart. So this is putting the experiential in practice. So if somebody challenges and say, yeah, okay, so nice, smarter, and like a nice stuff, but what is the value? Because see if we can find value. So I need a degree, right? You can't live in this life again without a degree. Yeah. So you focus, you go, and the smart thing would say, okay, fine. You can't just say you need a degree, Trevor. What kind of degree? You need to be specific, man. What do you mean? Okay, fine. I want a bachelor's degree in economics. But when, by the time you agree on a walking stick, no, Trevor, you need to, okay, fine. All right, I'm going to sign up now. So give me 4, give me 3, 4. How can I try and see if I can actually cut it down and do it in 3 years? Yeah, okay. So I know I have a specific goal. I need to have a degree by which year this is now. By 2026, I need to have a degree in economics from a particular institution. We've got that even more specific. Yes, which fact? This institution. Good. Sounds good. After the gun take off in January 20, not January, when we got it again, October, November, whatever it is, 2026. What happened to me? Yes? Bleary-eyed, all of the hours, sacrifice everything. No freedom, brother. All of this time, not this struggle for this 4 years, that's set up midnight, can't sleep, whatever it is. No, broke out, free, woo. Right. Normal behavior, potentially normal behavior. All right, what if the discussion though is about a focus on, I need certification, I need always to be building upon my qualifications, I need to embrace learning on an ongoing basis. So no matter what it is that I have now, I need to step up and have another certification. So that is why if I haven't did that, my bachelor's and looking for an opportunity to add a master's, I want to look at that, or I might look at some professional certification, but I'm open and always on the lookout to improve my qualifications better. That's it. Completely different ball game. So that when October, whatever it is, 2026 come, I am looking for application form. I'm looking to see where I'm going to go next, what opportunities are there, rather than shut down. Bear in mind that the dopamine, that feel good, aspiration, that's what it is. When we are aspiring to things, we're motivated. We have a great flow of this feel good hormone. And that's what it is. You need to set up yourself in life where you are always. Yeah, some people might say, boy, it's a struggle because it's like a treadmill. I'm always on a treadmill. Yeah, but no, I would not like the treadmill thing because it's kind of static. But you want to be going after additional goals. Always, no matter whatever age, you need to be having something that you're striving for, because that's what keeps you alive. That is what motivates you. That is what gives you the, let me wake up tomorrow morning. Want to own my home. Yeah, sounds good. And they tell you, guys tell you, must drive around. Let the agent carry you and show you houses. You might not be able to afford them, but at least, you start to have yourself in that mode where you go around. Yeah, all right, hear that as well. But what if you commit to wealth building in such a way that you are able to acquire assets, not only a house, but assets generally. You can actually buy homes then, because if you focus on, I want a home, you have one, man, at least, yeah, it's not paid on the mortgage. If you have the mortgage, set, don't know. There's no excitement. There's no, excitement about acquiring other assets. Need a job. Trevor, a little bit more specific. What kind of job? All right. What are you going to do? You're going to write all sorts of things by a certain time. You're supposed to, okay, here are that, wonderful. Yeah. What if you focus though on the experiences, the behaviors that are required really for you not only to get a job, but to have a career that is successful? And I'm suggesting, what if you were to devote your energies to enhancing your employability? So rather than sit down and just write applications, what if you actually develop some more skills? What if you put yourself in a position where you could actually earn income? Maybe you don't need to be employed. Maybe you can generate your own thing. Different mindset, different approach to goal setting. That's where I'm trying to go with it. And it continues. It is a set of behaviors, it's a set of experiences that are expansive, have no limit, have no, well, they might say that is not specific, but it does embrace the things that you want. Want to raise my own family. I discipline myself to display behaviors that will endear me to an ideal partner. Some of the last sessions would have dealt with it. And I embrace principles that are aligned to creating a family God's way. That's it. So you set up yourself that you become an ideal. And if you actually find this ideal partner, you can in fact create a family God's way. Want to buy a car? I'm committed to having ready and convenient access to reliable and situation appropriate transportation. You want to get where you want to go. I don't know if you see the Halo ads that's saying, what's the point? The car park 90% of the time. Why bother with waste your money? But anyway, I'm not suggesting that here. I'm just saying to you, have a mindset though, that is not just a car or whatever it is, but you want to, because you might actually buy a jalopy, drop down, whatever. What is it you want? You want to put yourself in a position where you can actually have reliable and suitable transportation at all times. Hope this is going somewhere for somebody. All right. So when we're looking at the experiential here, what we're saying in a nutshell, experience speaks to what defines the journey. So this is the kind of journey that we have, that we're going on. What is it like? What is that experience like? What are some of the things that we want to have to make that journey enjoyable and still get to where we want to get to and beyond if we want to go beyond? That's what it is. So by seeing the journey as a basis for fulfillment in itself, that's the key, see the key right here. If the journey, if you enjoy that journey, if John enjoys this idea of saving, of making more out of his money and seeing his wealth built and his fun, oh my gosh, no, I'm not wasting the money on that. And I'm still that excitement, that joy that comes from those behaviors, those experiences. That's the key. So that's why when December 31st comes and he's into January, he's still doing it because it's wonderful. So I'm not going to get frustrated because I want to keep on. I want to get even better at this. So there's an ongoing desire to double down on the experiences. That's where the key is. If we start to get more joy from the journey, we're going to get further. All right. So Brother G says, liking it, Brother Smith. Okay. Thanks for the encouragement. So true, Brother Smith. Kimberly says, goal setting need baby steps and skill that you need to achieve the ultimate goal. Yep. But pay attention to those steps. Those baby steps are the key, and enjoy each one of those baby steps. Embellish them so that we don't have a problem with the steps. The risk of rebounding or getting stuck upon achievement of a static goal then is mitigated because we're not going to collapse afterwards. We're not going to say, okay, fine, I have the house now. And we're not going to say, no, I have the degree, no, I have the car, no, therefore, no. So the bottom line is invest the same diligence in identifying and pursuing the experiences and the related behaviors that are aligned with your purpose, your goals, and your fulfillment. What am I saying? That specific thing that SMART tells you to do? Yes. But let it be specific experiences. And of course, experiences are brought around by behaviors. So what we're looking at for now, what are some of the behaviors, specific behaviors that we need to put in place and to enjoy doing so that we can achieve our purpose in life, so that we can achieve our goals, and so that we can be fulfilled? What are the behaviors that we must bury down on, learn to enjoy, focus on those behaviors, because those behaviors are going to produce the experiences that bring us fulfillment. It's going to take us to our goals and achieve our purpose in life. That's the experience. I'm a little excited here. Okay, test sign coming up soon. Okay, get ready. So the R of my starter, smarter, is recurring. The big problem we have with goal setting, because of that T that people are misusing, is the timely. That's the biggest problem. It's too short term. That's what happened in the States when we look at in search of excellence. Those companies, people chop and sell off this and whatever it is, and the stock price went up because that's it. Everybody's looking to the next quarter to show profit, show numbers, so that the stock price can go up and you get your bonus out of that. In good to great, there was another set of companies that did much better over the long haul because they weren't in a hurry. So they had constant growth over time. Unless you're planning to die right away, plan for a longer future. Look longer. Yes. So that's where it is. I was in a conversation with a few friends, and penny drop with somebody saying, "Hey, how come you're asking so and so about what next? What are your plans? What are your plans?" And one of the things that the suggestion is that we should be looking at least 10 years. Okay, no matter how old you are, you're supposed to die before. No matter. But suppose you are still alive. So have a wider vision. That timely, that's part of the problem. So, but I don't want to even put that kind of finite time into the equation. I'm looking at something that is recurring, something that is ongoing. So the recurrence speaks to sustainability and continuous pursuit. Bear in mind that human beings are driven. They are motivated by aspiring for something. That's when you have some joy to be, when you want to actually have something that you can look forward to. That's it, that you're pursuing something. That's the excitement. Think back to your younger age, if you're still young, whatever it is, where you had a love interest and you were in pursuit. Is there any period of your life that had more excitement and more energy? No, how could it? So that's what I'm saying. Pursue something that you're aspiring after, want to get to. Whoa, that's what keeps us going, keeps us driving. And if you pull that away by saying, okay, fine, now we have achieved it. So you climb the mountain, you get to the mountain top. What is it? I'm suggesting from that perch, look for the next high peak and say, okay, that's the one we're going after now. That's what it is that will have us to achieve our goals on a sustainable basis. That is what we need to put into our resolutions. So it's not such a target that we're going to, let us say right now, and St. Andrew, we have this, trying to, we have been doing it for a number of years, where we read the Bible in a year. So you have this Bible reading. But if it is only now that we just go through, so that we are in fact going to do it, yeah, we might get a little slow down and turn off. But if there is an enjoyment and a sense of inquiry, a sort of, oh, I wonder what next. If you have that kind of built-in enjoyment of the journey, then the chances of achieving the goal are greatly enhanced. So, sorry, I'm trying to get to a shot that I see. Okay, encouragement, more encouragement, bring it on. I need it. All right, so yeah, the striving, believe me, we complain every day about the striving. Why we have to strive so much? Yeah. But I can tell you that if you're in a position where you lying down on a coconut tree at Negril, you won't have as much joy in life. Maybe I might have to retest that. Give me a couple of years of that and let me see if I prefer that to my striving now. But seriously, there is a goal. Human beings strive, and that strive produces all the joy, all of that. Goal setting, that all of that, I'm sorry, hormone, the dopamine. All right, so our goal setting and planning then should reflect that reality, that in life, there's stages, just think about it. We have little grandchildren now. You have to soon start the pep, then get to pep. Oh, boy, you kill yourself. Get into high school, boy. You have to get some good C-sec results, otherwise, whatever. Get in the right college, get in the college. But you have to get the right job. Get the right job. That's what it is. That's how life is. And that's why we keep on getting better and better and better. So, statistic fixed destination goal setting is unrealistic. It doesn't make sense. How does it help? All right. Moving along. Have I skipped one? All right, so the recurring in practice. So I've linked it up actually to the SMART. So ensure that the desired experiences are constantly at play. In other words, the behaviors that we talk about. So what am I saying? I hope that you're hearing this. And what I'm saying is, instead of saying $100,000 at the end, I want you to hear me saying thrift. I want to hear me saying money management, better skills in these areas. That's what I just want to see. I want to hear me saying focus on the behaviors. What are the behaviors that will produce this experience? And those are the things that you want to focus on through the year. And amazingly, you're going to find that the results that you're seeking will in fact manifest themselves. So the specificity is still there, but it's a specific set of behaviors and experiences that are aligned to your values, your vision, and your goal, your whole purpose in life, wrapped up in that. And if you are behaving in ways that are congruent with your purpose, with your vision, with your values, then believe you me, what is there not to enjoy? What is there not to enjoy? Are you living your purpose every day? That's where it is. So that's the S. Be constantly engaged in observation, data gathering, and evaluation. So that's your measurement now. The key now is that we are looking at these behaviors and these experiences that are supposed to take us where we're supposed to go. If they're not moving you in the right direction or not moving you fast enough, then you need to do something about it. Yes? So for example, go back to our brother John. John, when you see that something is happening with you, but when you look at your relationship, when you look at your health, when you look at some of the things that you've given up, is that congruent with who you are or who you want to be? Maybe not. Maybe not. You need to reflect again. So there's no shortage of measurement and observation and data gathering in my process. Yeah, far from it. Be constantly engaged in evaluating, developing, and manifesting behaviors that are needed for the next legs of the journey. So here's the other thing now. So the SMART thing talks about whether it is achievable or realistic. We are going one above that. We are saying, yes, we have assessed this thing. We can in fact achieve it, and it's realistic. But my life doesn't end when I make this goal. My life doesn't end there. My life goes on. So I am actually developing muscles and developing behaviors that when I get there, having climbed the Blue Mountain, I can move to the next highest, or the Warika, I can go to Blue Mountain next. That's basically the idea, is that I am going to be looking to the next. So if I'm in infant school, yes, I want to look at my tables, I want to look at something, but what is it that I'm going to require in order to pass PEP? And when I get into high school, what are some of the skills that would help me there that I can actually start to work on? No, that's the key. That's the key. incorporate renewable cycles, right? That's the other thing now. So the timely, you see that timely in the smart thing? I'm suggesting that it should be a sort of cycle. So yes, okay, I might have this year, my 2022 plan is this year, but I'm clear in my mind that is a recurring cycle. So at the end or before the end, I'm starting to renew it for 2023. Or if I start to look at really doing 5-year and 10-year plans, that's where I am. But the cycle. Continue to look at it as a cycle. All right. Test time coming up soon. So I hope that people are listening. All right. Brother David Tennant writing a question, and I'm so scared. I always ask some deep questions. So Brother Andre, stand by quick. I find this very useful, Brother David says. As someone who has always been very results oriented, the very little emphasis on the process, with very little emphasis on the process. What advice would you have to facilitate what seems like a major shift in orientation? See that? I tell you. All right, sir. I think I have some. let's look at the practical thing. I remember it though. So the key would be result oriented, and you focus on the target. And the question is, how does someone who is target oriented modify in order to be more process oriented? Have I got it, sir? Yes, hopefully. All right. Okay. Tough ask. All right. So some of this is there, which is where I'm going. But I'll go back. Let me just do the recurring, and then I go back and see if I can address the question more directly. All right, coming back. All right, so recurring in regular life, right? Need a degree. Again, the idea of the recurring is I'm a lifelong learner. Yeah. So that's part of the thing. The question is stop setting the goals in sort of finite terms. That okay, like this is something that I can package and put on and say, okay, fine, I now have this. Yeah. I bought a computer. See, I have one, I put it down here. As against I want to have the best available technology at all times. What that means is that if I bought one computer, it doesn't mean that I'm not looking out for an upgrade or so on. It's a different philosophy. It is more about the word that come to me is experiences. Is that outcome in a different kind of sense? It's not outcome of the material, the physical, the whatever it is that we're looking at, the certificate or the fact that the data shows that I did this. It's not if you even put it in the running thing. All right. So let us look at the women. Last year, breaking 970 was a big 1070, sorry, was a big issue, right? And then, whoa, one of them passed, do the 1070. So you could say, okay, fine, this is it. When nobody has ever run this kind of fast. So it is possible that could actually cloud the thing that, yes, we're running faster than whatever it is. But look at what is happening now with Elaine. She now has the incentive that everybody has given up the FlowJo thing as a possibility. But at least that is inspiring her to say, wait, if I can get here, maybe, who knows? So let us look for Oregon, Eugene, Oregon next year, this year, to see what happens. Motivation. She might not do it, but there's a thing that goes. So it's a different mindset. I'm sort of answering Brother Tennant's question as we're going along here as well. Is that it's not it is an expansion of the goal. It's not limiting it. It's not putting a fixity as to its limits. Huh? Right, that's it. It is a concept that says put in place behaviors, practices, actions, things that you need to do in order to achieve this goal. If you do that well enough, not only will you achieve that goal, but you will actually put yourself in a position to go well beyond, because you keep on working on those things that deliver goal attainment. I think that's it. To me, I don't know how to express it better, but that is really what it is. Look at the things that produce the end result. Work on those things. Focus on those things. Make sure that you improve on those things on a daily basis. Just the same way. Stop looking, but don't be too focused on the chart that says you're getting closer to the thing. What about the behaviors that would help me to do that? Did I consult with this person? Did I, in fact, do whatever it is that I should have done that would have helped me to move the thing forward? And if not, why not? And how can I get myself in a position where I start to do more of what it is that's going to help me to move the chart upwards? And if we focus on the things that move the chart, then we have no limit, because not only do we pass our goal, but the next set of goals, we are actually on track. That's I think is the answer for me, is the shifting from watching the numbers. John, let me go back to John. Stop watch, okay, how much more you have in the account, because what you're doing now is you stop eating the fried food, you stop doing this. What if you were to find some other ways, John, maybe you need to, if your expenses are that high, you can't do anything about it, you need to earn some additional income. But put in place the actions that will help you to get where you want to go. All right, let me deal with this and then come back to the question. Let me just deal with this first and then I will look back at the chat. I want to own a home. Again, I aspire to have real estate holdings. Yes, that's the mindset. The mindset is not this finite thing that I'm focusing on, this one thing here. No, it is as a body of experiences, a body of behaviors. It's a mindset that understands that home owning is a good thing, but why not many? And why not other real estate holdings? Why not have a mentality that opens up that possibility? I need a job. I want to work to experience constant career advancement. So it's not a job. I'm not in a position to say, okay, fine, I get this job, I'm comfortable. No, I want to have my career move on. I must be always looking for a promotion. Okay, fine, I'm an AVP or I'm a VP, but what about? Why not aspire for more? I want to raise my own family, maintain a healthy respect for family, and want to display behaviors that enhance the family experience. That's it. I'm a good family man. I do all the things that would be required to have a healthy, harmonious life in a family. That's me. When I do that, automatically when I have my own family, that will play out. Want to buy a car? I just want to have ready access to appropriate transportation, however that is that I have to deal with it. Maybe, you know, I have a limousine service that comes at my beck and call. That's it. So I wanted to set the practicum. Brother Tenant has given me one. So let me do that again, you know. All right. So here we go. All right. Let me answer the question. And seriously, I want people to jump in and to look at some issues that you might have and to say, okay, fine, let us talk through this, how we can apply this. So the question is, I am a result-focused person. In other words, I have targets. I set targets and I focus on those targets and I hit those targets. I I do whatever is required in order to hit the targets. I'm not saying anything unethical. I'm just saying I know that there's no way that I'm not going to hit my targets. That's it. So that's who I am. I'm this person that goal oriented. You give me a goal, I'm going to get that goal. Right? And I'm not so much focused on the process and the journeys. I just know that I have to make the target, and whatever it is that I have to do ethically and honestly and whatever it is, I am going to do to get it done. That's all right. That's all right. One of the approaches, and I'm saying a lot of people achieve a lot of goals because of the smart thing and because of that attitude. There's a suggestion that there is an advantage from a neuroscience point of view to focusing on the journey, as we have said, instead of the destination. Why is this? The striving. The striving is a key to human existence, right? It is what keeps us motivated. A lot of the hormones that get us motivated and keep us going comes from this concept of striving. So yeah, so the argument is that, am I not striving when I'm looking at the targets? Yes, agree. Here is the fundamental difference that I would suggest, is that if we miss out on the experience of enjoying that experience and focusing on that experience and seeing the experience as an end in itself, in the sense that I'm getting satisfaction, I'm getting fulfillment from the behaviors that are required. Yes, so I'm proud of myself. I'm pleased that I am displaying this kind of behavior. It's wonderful. In other words, look at it. I am actually speaking to these people that really, are antagonistic. But look at me. I am so calm and I'm trying to make peace. I'm so proud of that behavior that I'm enjoying it. I feel good that I am so able to display this behavior and I have satisfaction in it. And then, of course, that behavior is what makes it possible to get cooperation from the very people that's going to help the chart to move up. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Is that if we step back from the chart and look at the behaviors that would move the thing upwards, we could actually get satisfaction from it. So there is more fulfillment that's coming from it. So we're not only waiting to get to the finish line in order to get the fulfillment, we're getting it all along the way. Life is much more beautiful. So if we look at, and we hear Shelley talk about it on this week, is that exercising, that thing that you have to put in when in the training, that satisfaction in itself. When I push them, when I say one more round, one more this, whatever, that is it. I get joy from that. That's what Ali talked about. When he run, Ali is saying, let me run this other thing because maybe my opponent is doing the same. So I want to run the extra. That's it. I get satisfaction from my discipline, from the mindset that I have, that I can actually put in this work. That's it. So that's the difference that I see, because you can in fact be inspired and motivated by the moving charts, but you don't get the joy from the journey. You don't get the joy from the behaviors, from the experience. And that in turn is what equips you to go well beyond the particular objective, the particular goal. Hope that helps. But if not, we have some time. Let's talk it around. Yeah, Brother Andre is saying the AR concept can limit burnout. Exactly, that's what it is. Is that because you're constantly being pumped up, because you're constantly producing the right hormones, you're basically enjoying your work. That's part of it. And so the idea of getting frustrated and burned out is distant. So Brother David is saying I'm completely sound on the benefit of focusing on the journey. My question was for advice on how to make the switch, having been stuck in the previous mode. So if you're sold, why not? Why not bury down on the journey? All right, then let me try another angle to see. I'm suggesting then, right? So there are behaviors, right? You have some behaviors that you need in order to achieve your objectives. I'm suggesting that the same way that we look at the specificity in terms of the target, identify, pull out those behaviors, write them down so that you have them before you. People always tell you, put up this on your mirror. So put up the behaviors on your mirror as to what are the behaviors that I must manifest, yes, on a daily basis, and work towards making sure that at the beginning of the day, you are saying to yourself, who am I to be today, right? I must confess, I must tell you that. I have a little thing that I do the same thing. It's hieroglyphics, but every day, my I have a little B the day. Was I like that? Was I like that? That to me is the shift that I don't know, Brother David, if that is, but to me it would be bring it back down to behaviors, and focus on those behaviors. I don't know if that helps. Trudy saying the performance management process that balances hard targets with competencies is what comes to mind for me. Competencies are really the behaviors, right? That's it. That's it. There's a question above. Where is that question? Where? What is your view? Oh, what is your view of accountability partner as you move through the smarter process? Yeah, yeah. Brother David, seriously, don't tell me times. Does that help at all? Seriously, I don't want any. You know, if God, that's a fundamental question. I didn't penetrate to the depths, but does that really help in terms of saying put up the behaviors and monitor them? In other words, shift the measurement, shift the tracking to the behaviors, because at the end of the day, it is behaviors that, you know, truly talk about competencies, but at the end of the day, the competencies are manifested in terms of behaviors. So it is the behaviors that count in life, ultimately. And so if we start to move away, let me just not say move away, because you still need to keep that. But if we start to focus on the behaviors, list the behaviors that we need in order to get where we want to get. And of course, that would also help us to keep in line with our values and so on, because we could actually, you know, talk about Sapphira and John. We could actually borrow the money and put in the account, but that's not ethical. So the values are important. Look at the behaviors that are aligned with that, and then move on. Brother G, I see your hand. I want to answer the accountability partner thing quickly. And let's go on. Yes, of course, we want to have an accountability partner. And the beauty with the accountability partner is that the accountability partner doesn't have to look at a chart to see where you are. The accountability partner can talk to you about your behaviors, right? So what are you doing? What, you know, Trevor, you said that you wanted to work more on this behavior. What's happening there? Can I help you? What happened? Give me a call. Yeah, if you're in the middle of the day and you find that you messed up, you know, with respect to that, give me a call. And we can try and sort it out, see if we can get you back on track. So accountability partners, perfect. And of course, they are useful, again, helpful in the sense that when you're nearing the target and you're coming to the thing, what are the next questions? Where you're going from here? What you have after this? So that's the sort of thing that you want from your accountability partners. Brother G, go ahead.
Brother Smith, as I listen to you, especially as it has to do with the journey, the process, the experience, I was listening to something as it relates to Sidney Poitier. And if you listen to a lot of what he says, it's more the experience, it's more the journey. I remember he was asked a question, how do you feel that you have almost reached the apex of your career? And he said, I need to do something different tomorrow, because it's a journey. And, after he finished acting, he decided I can continue to make contributions. So he get behind the camera. And then after that, he said, there's much more to be done. I can put this in writing. So he started to write books. The point I'm making is I like the experiential approach, because I think it had far more value to the goal setting. If you look at a passage that I love, 1 Timothy chapter 6, from verse 17 to 18, I think Paul did just what you're talking about when he said, command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant. So it's not about the destination, nor to put their hope in wealth, because it's not about the wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. So in other words, as you achieve your stuff that you set out, there must be an experience that will resonate in how much you enjoy what is happening. A matter of fact, verse 18, if I could just read that, it says, command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, and be generous and willing to share. So you see the experience of your achievement is not just about you, it's about helping others as you go along. Let me give you a personal example. We started out when we decided we're going to do a driving school. We decided that it's not just about putting 2 L's on vehicles. We want to be different. When we decided to be certified by the Ministry of Education, I called the Ministry of Education under the Independent School Association. I know what time going, and they told me, no, we have never certified a driving school. So I said, why? Because we have never done it. I said, can you give me the prerequisite to certify a driving school? What if I meet it? Would you certify us? And the rest is history. We are actually registered with the Ministry of Education under the Independent School Association. And just recently, somebody called us and said, Mr. Grenell, do you do certification for people in terms of work experience and heavy duty equipment? I'm just trying to share that we can't get fixed in a particular mode. So then I drove to St. Anne yesterday to certify several persons in different equipment. So it's a dynamic process. You want to achieve certain things, but you shouldn't just limit yourself in a particular area. So this is where I'm going to do it and no other way. The experience will be too limited and not as fulfilling.
Right. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So yeah, that's the concept. Still want to get some feedback, some other questions. I see Sherry saying support system is important as well. While some persons are intrinsically motivated, others need motivation, push, etc. Let me be very, very, very clear about what it is. I am not knocking the smart thing. I mean, it has helped millions over years. So that works, right? What I'm saying is, I believe that in practice, in order to actually get goals, if you go back to the Wells Fargo situation, where people actually abuse it in order to get specific, goals. If I'm a top leader and I'm interested in cross-selling, and that's my thing that I bring to the board of directors, I want to have numbers of accounts open, and so I'm going to put pressure, because I want to go back to the board to show how well I have done in terms of this concept, because that might give me the next promotion. And so one of the things that we have to be careful about is that there's not an abuse, a misuse of the concept. And the areas that I see are the two on the outside, which is the specificity, that sometimes we bring the thing down so narrow that we lock out. We forget to take care of the wider environment issues that are important and the timely. It's too short focus in many instances. It doesn't speak to life ongoing. It's, you know, it tends to be very focused there, in which case two things, well, not too many things can happen. One of them is that we talk about that as well, that the achievement fall off afterwards, or we talk about the disillusionment, and Brother Andre mentioned the burnout as well. That in order to get these targets, we just run ourselves burnout flat, right? All right, so Angela says, yes, indeed, Brother Granite, grow, advance, develop. Yeah, that's where we want to go. Want to just keep the channel open for a few minutes, so maybe close up at 5 past, but I really would love to have some others to share. Is there anything that strikes you that you know, we'd love to hear some other voices, honestly, how this can be applied to your life, or if not, what's missing, right? Anybody else? Go ahead, Kimberly.
Oh, somebody stop.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, Kimberly, go ahead.
Yes, hi, Brother Smith. So one of the things that I do, so I'm a teacher, and my organization use SMART. So thank you for the ER. But one of the things that I also do with the SMART, I kind of coupled it with the vision board. So, you know,
okay.
as you talk about the neuroscience of it, I couple mine with the vision board. So me and my family, my daughter is 6. So we do it as a family, like end of the December, first week in January. So we cut out things that, you know, we want to do as a family for the year. And then whatever we don't achieve for the year, you know, it roll over. So it's continuous. I like to use goals instead of New Year resolution, because, you know, most time by the 15th of the month, you know, we break it. So, you know, goals, because it's ongoing, it's, as you said, it's the experience, it's the recurrent, you know, and it's the baby steps and celebrating the wins as you go along the journey, you know. So I divide my my vision board in 4 F's. So faith, fitness, family, and finance. So, you know, faith, you know, my church, my connection with God, my own personal walk, spirituality, fitness, health. So exercise and, you know, eating right and, you know, self-care, self-love, and family, like, you know, vacations that we want to do, like, and I like the example you gave about the house. So right now I'm, you know, I want to buy a house and a goal setting and, you know, leaving a legacy behind for my kids and my finance, like, you know, personal one-on-one money management. So I had to like read books, YouTube, you know, financial gurus, you know, how to budget while saving, how to get out of debt, how to pay off my car, you know, while, you know, things like that, how to invest, you know, like mutual fund, getting money out of the bank and things like that. So it's, you know, it's ongoing, you know, life, being a lifelong learner in whatever, because whatever goal I want, what are the skills do I need to get there? What are the baby steps that I need to, you know, get there, you know? So that's one of the things that I personally do. Thank you for the lesson, additional life learning lessons. Thank you. ER, adding to the ER.
Thank you for the summary. Brilliant summary.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks. All right, Carmen, I think Brother Andre wanted to say something. So Carmen. All right, Brother Andre, go.
I don't think it was me, but I mean,
okay. No. Can't
I mean,
leave
I'm
without
just
your
loving it.
wisdom. Can't leave without your wisdom.
I'm just amazingly love it. Like that person that just spoke, I must admit I was a smart person too, but I've gotten smarter. I have definitely gotten smarter. Beautiful in terms of experience. So our behavior produces experience. Therefore, what behavior do we need to employ to ensure that the experience can be ongoing or be an ongoing journey for fulfillment and not time restricted? That was my big takeaway in terms of experience. As far as recurrent is concerned, recurrent speaks to sustainability and continuous pursuit. Static goal setting is unrealistic. Our lives should not end once we achieve our goals. We need to be a lifelong learner, put in practice our behaviors that will motivate me to achieve again and again. So, I mean, and by the way, I love the 4 F's. I never get the 4th one from that person that was showed the faith, the vision board concept, faith, family, something and something
Fitness.
else, and then finance.
Fitness and finance. Fitness.
Oh, fitness. Yes, fitness. I thought that was pretty neat, by the way. I don't know if I can borrow it.
Absolutely.
But, anyway. but that is, I have nothing more to say, but thanks again, and this was awesome.
Thank you, brother. All right. Carmen and then Sherry.
Okay, I just wanted to share that I'm at the point where I think I had vision and I worked hard on them when I moved to this country. Now I'm older, I've retired the last 3 years, and it's like I'm spinning my wheels. What am I going to do? Well, I do, but I don't think I'm achieving much. I'm not learning any new skills. So I think I have to do something about that, because it's not the end of the world. I have relatively good health. So I'm not going to work for anyone anymore. That's over. But there are lots of other things I think I can do. I can, do some other things to enhance myself. I have 7 grandchildren. I do work with them, but they're kind of on another loop from me right now. It's kind of hard to manage them. Their schoolwork is different from what I know, and they don't want to hear it. So, and that phone in the hand, I can't stand it. So we don't do well with that. But I do see where I can, do a lot more and enhance myself by learning, trying to get some new skills, something else to do. So I have to start thinking of other things that I can do to enhance myself and enhance others, so I could help other people to do some things that I have done in the past that was successful. But, sometimes it's hard to tell people stuff, they don't want to hear. They want to do their own thing. But I really appreciate this. I wish my son would listen to this program, but he's not going to. I can tell you that. I really wish he would. He has the big goal ahead, but nothing to support it around it to the way he's going to get there. And I keep telling him that. You have great ideas, you have goals, but you want to jump there tomorrow. You can't do that. You have to make, small incremental movement steps to get there. Oh, that's old fashioned way. You move, you wheel, you deal. So that's just my comment.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sister Carmen. I'm going to get myself beaten. I'm beaten on the bottom, but I need to put this in. I beg you, please. I know we normally try to be very disciplined, and we are, but I want to put this in. Sister Carmen, I'm talking to you specifically, but for people like you, etc. When I listen to your conversation, you're pivoting towards your son, your family, or whatever it is. I want to talk to you, and I want to suggest to you that you work on a plan like this over the next 10 years, have a 10-year plan. So for 2022, you have your key goals. Just write down all the things that you would like to achieve. It don't matter. I would want to, walk around the house, whatever, any simple thing. Just write down 2022. Then what are the things that you would like to be doing in 3 years' time? What it is that you would like to be doing in 5 years' time and 10 years' time. I don't care if you're going to be Methuselah. Do that. All right. So when you finish jotting down those things, take out the top 4 out of each of the 4 areas. Right? So you have this year, year 3, year 5, year 10. Take out the top 4 things that you want to do in those 4 areas. And that should be, put them in some priority. So you should have 16 things basically that occupying your mind, focus on you. Yeah. I hear the deflection to the children and so on. What about you? What about you? If your life hasn't ended, get some excitement, have some goals, have some things. I'm sorry to deal with it. But we're doing that. We're going through that. And it's important for us to look at life in that kind of way as well. So go ahead, Sherry. And I'm going to invite Sister Carmen back, but I'm not picking on you. I'm just suggesting for anybody that's there, that's a powerful way to go about it, is that you have clarity then, because then you have the extension of what it is that is important to you over this period of time, and you can break it down and work towards them going forward. All right.
Okay. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
No problem. Sherry, you have the last word.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Mr. Smith, thanks for sharing. There are a few takeaways for me. One of the things that you said is that focus on the journey more than the destination. And you can be inspired to accomplish, but don't get the joy. And this is something I've been saying to because I'm presently doing a degree, right? And I have said to a couple of persons that even though I'm doing it, I don't feel like I'm going forward. And they're like, oh, but you're doing, and I'm like, no, there's something that's missing. And just listen to you speaking, I'm like, I guess I'm not enjoying the journey, or I've been wanting to change my job as well. And when I looked on the aspect where you added the TER to smarter, and not just saying, oh, I just want a job to get some money, you know what I mean? But it's basically focusing on evolving. It's not just getting a job. And even in relation to the degree, it's more than that, And I mean, even today and yesterday, I had about an hour conversation with somebody about evaluating me. I'm like, listen, I'm doing this, but I'm not feeling, I'm just, So I'm grateful. I myself wouldn't mind if each day I have somebody kick me and say, Sherry, get up and do so and so. I mean, I'm one of those persons that struggle in terms of what I typed earlier about being intrinsically motivated. Sometimes you just want somebody to say, Sherry, hey, some support system, something to say, hey, I have your back to, how did that go today? Or you know what I mean? But I'm grateful. So tonight I need to change my mindset, but stop looking at it and say, oh, this is it, but have that passion, change my focus, the right behavior, focus on the goals, how I get there. As you say, it's not just a journey. It's more than the journey. Oh no, focus on the journey more than the destination. So
Right.
I'm grateful.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for the extension of time and for the sharing, some deep sharing. I don't know. I was excited about the session. Actually, I was just looking at the whole thing, and the penny dropped in that something is not so right about the goal. As a matter of fact, there was an article that I wrote about, again, the targets, that are we having a problem in terms of being so focused on the target things. And then this came, I'm excited about it. I want to encourage you to reflect on it and shift focus really to behaviors, because really and truly, again, this is brought to you by the Untitled Church of Christ, and so clearly we're very heavily focused on behaviors, because behaviors is what God would have us, to display the right kinds of behaviors. So why not take that principle to all aspects of our lives? We're focused on the behaviors. Yeah. So we could actually, I'm done, I'm leaving. These are the last few words. We can actually say, okay, fine, I want to go to heaven and focus on that. But how are we going to get there if we're not focusing on the behaviors that will get us into heaven? And that, to me, is the thing. And if we are only doing the behaviors because we want to get to heaven, what's the fulfillment? What's the joy that we're going to get in our journey? So that's it. That's why, Christ says, my yoke is easy. It's only easy though if you're enjoying it. All right. Thank you very much. Truly says, thanks for the invite. Anytime. Brother Engel, you there? Or I don't know, Rowan and somebody wrap up and keep me quiet.
Well, thank you again. Thank you again, Mr. Smith. Thank you again, Brother Andre, for your participation. Thanks again, everyone who participated in this evening's interactive discussion. And thanks for the wonderful presentation that was shared. Truly, we hope that we will be smarter in our plans for this year and beyond. And so as we wrap up, we just want to express and just give our appreciation to everyone who joined us this evening. As a reminder, the session was recorded, and for viewing, it's available on our YouTube and Facebook channels under the handle Simply Christians JA. That's Simply Christians JA, or via our website, standrewchurchofchrist.org. We meet again on that would be the first Saturday in February. I don't remember what the date is, but we meet the first and third Saturdays of every month at 6:30 p.m. What's the date, Mr. Grossman?
The 5th.
The 5th of February. So please mark that in our calendar, where we will meet again on the 5th of February for another wonderful informative session. We meet every Sunday morning for worship service. The St. Andrew congregation meets every Sunday morning for worship service at 77 Red Hills Road, as well as you can access our worship service via this very same Zoom link at this very same Zoom ID and password is applicable for our morning sessions on Sundays beginning at 9 a.m. So tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. via this very same Zoom link, we will be streaming here as well as our social media handles. So thanks again, everyone, for the time taken to be with us this evening. We truly pray that God will continue to work with you through our sessions. I hope you're enlightened, and we continue to pray for your safety and your good health. Let us at this time go to God in prayer as we break in this session. Almighty Father, we just thank. Yes, go ahead.
Could you pray for the mother of Brother Peart, Stennett Peart, and Desmond Peart? She's in the hospital.
Okay, we'll make note of that for sure. Okay, no other requests. Let us go to God in prayer. Almighty, we just thank you for this evening's session. We thank you, dear God, for the clarity of speech, the presentations, the participation, the discussion that was just held. We just ask that we will be smarter in our goals, in our behavior, that we'll find joy and fulfillment along the journey. We just ask that these sessions will continue to help us to be better individuals as this so far as what you have planned for us. We just continue to pray for the NAV Life series, for its success, and for all the participants. We just pray, oh Father, that as we break from this session, that you continue to keep us protected as we look to you for our for guidance. We especially, oh Lord, put in prayer at this time the mother of Desmond and Stennett Peart. We just pray for her health. And we ask, oh Lord, that we pray for her whatever medication therapy that has been administered at this time, oh Lord. We just pray for your healing hands to touch her in a special way as we pray for her recovery. We also pray, oh Lord, for those, oh Lord, who are grieving. We continue to remember the Tennant family at this time, oh Lord. We put them especially into your hands, oh Lord, that you continue, dear God, to give them the comfort and the support that is needed. This we pray as we ask through Christ's name. Amen. Thanks again, everyone, and we wish you a wonderful evening and take care. God bless.